Hey viewers, welcome back to Let's Play Divinity, Dragon Commander. Well, we just finished off the tutorial, so let's jump into single player. I don't want to be Dire Shadow. Wow, it's a really slow cursor here. I want to be Renairen. There we go. Let's go red. Sure. Difficulty normal. Dragon choices, okay. Fly speed by 40%. Disabled buildings. I think I had that in the tutorial. Increase movement speed. Build hunters. He looks subtle as a brick. Acid blaze. Oh, okay, that's the green thing probably had in the tutorial. 13 seconds, deal additional damage. Whenever you damage an enemy, 30% of the damage is added to your HP. That's really good. Passive health by 100%. Warlock. Huh. And the Zephyr. Purifying Flames. You fire restorative charges for 10 seconds? Huh, okay. Ray of Power, increased damage. Friends with benefits. Classy. You can shield it. And a shaman, healing and repairing. You know what? Let's just go with... Oh. Is that it? Okay. Go with the saber. Like the idea of the hunter and faster movement. Plus, I think it looks the coolest of the three. Zephyr's pretty neat, but... yeah, he's a little too clumsy looking. Let's go with this guy. The music's got me sold.
Thousands of years ago, Sigurd I built incredible engines of war, and with them forged an empire. The emperor married and sired many children. He even had a love child with mysterious Aurora, an ancient dragon in a woman's guise. Once united, peace was declared in Rivellon, and bloodshed soon forgotten. But Sigurd's realm of peace was shattered when his own sons and daughters rose against him. War returned with a vengeance, and annihilation reached new heights. Desperate to safeguard Sigurd's legacy, the wizard Maxos sought the help of the one child that never betrayed his father, Sigurd and Aurora's son, the half-dragon prince. He would be the one to save the empire from ruin, and to aid him in his quest, Maxos delivered unto him the imperial command ship known as the Raven. This is the story of Maxos and the dragon. This is the story of the Dragon Commander.
That was an amazing old-timey intro. Ooh, other dragons, huh? Use strategic cards on the world map to destroy an opponent's buildings, boost your economy, or disrupt an enemy's advancement. Okay, this game might be a lot deeper than I thought. Because, I'll be honest, the RTS elements are pretty straightforward. Although there appear to be a lot of abilities. Keep a balance between researching dragon skills and unit skills. Wow, okay. Emperor's political popularity among dwarves, elves, lizards, imps, and undead. Sigurd I, Emperor of Rebellion, murdered. Sons and daughters go to war. Siblings vie for the throne. No quarter given. Decades at peace end on bloody battlegrounds. War waged with terrible contraptions. Elves and lizards horrified. Imps delighted. Undead proclaim war as punishment from the gods. Gold prices skyrocket. War not all bad, say dwarves. Well, I appreciate the tongue-in-cheek.
Welcome, noble dragon, to the Raven. This wonder of engineering. This miracle wrought in magic that has a living demon for a heart.
Okay. Thanks for having me. Not sure about the living demon part.
Between the knowledge I shall pry from this infernal creature's cryptic mind and the avalanche of tomes, manuscripts, and blueprints aboard awaiting study, we will catch up with our enemies in no time and claim back the lands they have taken by force.
All right.
Our task is monumental, but we will not have to face it alone. 2 famed generals are here already, loyal to the legacy we are trying to save, and therefore loyal to you, given time.
So what you're saying is one of them will stab me in the back. I'll have to pick between them.
I have furthermore enlisted the service of Grumio, an imp of devilish cunning that can fashion anything my research will uproot. Already he has created you a wonder he calls a jet pack.
Okay, I like Grumio.
Talk to these men, get your bearings, and begin your conquest. If you have any more questions, you can find me in the Royal Chamber, which I shall use as a study.
Can I have the Royal Chamber since I'm royalty?
Good luck, Dragon. May the Divines be with you.
No? Okay. Alright. The bridge. The bar. So, gold income. Oh, so there are way more. Okay. Empire overview. Total population, casualties, dragon kills. The ambassador of the undead, Yorick, is the man, hardly a man, scoffs the dwarf, who safeguards the interests of his skeletal fellows aboard the Raven. Deeply religious. Huh. Bit tiresome in his rather effusive piety. Prospera is like a steadfast boy amid a tumultuous sea of shouting elves, quarreling dwarves, preaching undead, and babbling imps, always cool, calm, and collected, a far cry from the other hot-headed counselors. If one wants to sum up the impish spirit with one word, it is unpredictability. Trinculo may often surprise with his meandering points of view, but like all imps, he is as clever as he is fickle. Science and progression are his bywords. For gods, men, or anything else, really, he has little to no use. A staunch defender of the Green Mother, Oberon, good name pick, defends nature when he can, so serving elven interests. Elves try to keep a balance in a ruptured world, not wanting dwarves to destroy it with mines and factories, or undead to make it all too rigid with dogmatic beliefs. Dwarves, rich and corpulent, Falstaff, oh, okay. Who here has read their Shakespeare? Embodies everything that is dwarven. He loves gold, loves beer, upholds family values, and speaks plainly. One could easily dismiss him as a loudmouth dwarven don, out for wealth and power only, but to do so would be very foolish indeed. Behind his gruff exterior, a cunning politician is at play. Underestimate him, and you'll leave the table empty-handed while he reaps all the rewards. Okay. So there's obviously, yeah, this is got a lot at play here. Well, let's save. First steps. First steps. Henry.
Let me tell your right of the bat bastard that I hold you in very little regard. Your father may have been a great king once, but this last decade, a crowned pig would have played the part better.
So, this is the part where you're not loyal to me, and is that a cyborg arm? This world is crazy.
He became a vainglorious fool, a sloth, and a coward. No wonder then that his own children could amass armies unperceived and strike at the heart of a kingdom in a matter of days.
So, you changed your opinion of him then?
He tried to run, but he failed, and they slew him where he stood. Now the realm has been shattered, and vultures are picking what they can from his corpse by means of new and terrifying war machines.
See, now you've got my attention. I want some of those.
I'd say all is lost, but Maxos insists you are to be the one, the hero, who will take back the land we've lost. Excuse me if I laugh in derision. Ha 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 ha!
Sorry, this is kind of weird. Do you want me to look in your fake weird eye or your normal wonky eye? I don't know which one is the real eye.
Still, you are a dragon, I'll give you that, and of ancient blood. Prove to me you have the rocks to do undaunted battle, and perhaps my respect may still be yours.
So, who are you that hates me so much?
Henry of the House of Lanceford. More you needn't know.
Actually, that's not very helpful at all, Henry, but thanks. Who about your friend there?
Edmund, he's called. A lizard of the House of Carcarus. In truth, I'd rather sleep with Syphilis Incarnate than have him aboard.
Wow.
But there's no denying his talent. He's as arrogant as he is astute, and as ingenious as he is insufferable. Why don't you offer him a word of welcome? I know I won't.
Fantastic. This guy is a super awesome team player.
I believe he's in the bar. Probably searching for sherry. Just about the only drink that snooty serpent will swill.
How to earn your loyalty. Lip off? Definitely gonna lip you off.
Aye, and you have titles as well, but none of them king, as yet. I'll address you with the right regard the day you prove worthy of it.
I'm sorry, did no one tell you I can turn into a freaking dragon with a jetpack? The jetpack was built, but... oh, forget it, I'm leaving. Alright, let's go to the bar. There's a little star here thing we should probably do. Edmund, that is a very fine suit you're wearing, my friend, and points to you for wearing it.
And there we have it, I suppose. The dragon son of a monarch deposed. Rightful heir to the throne, even if he was born out of wedlock.
You have a monocle. You are my favorite character so far, by far.
No doubt that boar of a Henry has already introduced me in his ever-elegant way. So here I am. Lord Edmund Augustus III, Duke of Hawknest Hall. I'd add at your service, but I don't think we're quite there yet.
Well, you're still better than Henry.
To be perfectly honest, I'd normally entertain the idea of lending my expertise to your cause as curtly as I'd consider attending a dwarven opera. But not unlike my fellow general, it is Maxos' backing of this enterprise that has me intrigued. You have doubts benefit, Dragon. Let's see how far it takes you.
Pretty far. What's your take on the war so far, Edmund?
Only that it was bound to happen. For when an emperor weakens, his empire weakens with him. Now a litter of dogs is fighting for the throne, so maybe their dragon half-brother can walk away with it.
I'm sensing a lot of distrust in you, Edmund.
When one dwells among the highest echelons of power, where ambition runs thicker than blood, distrust is your best friend, as is its brother caution. In your case, though, the waters of misgiving run somewhat deeper. You are, after all, but a half-dragon. They call your kind dragon knights to lend an air of nobility to a lowly mixed breed. Not many make the distinction even, but the crucial difference is in purity. Human ancestry taints your being, for humanity and weakness are two sides of the same tuppence I drop in beggars' hats.
Wait, are you a racist?
A bastard twice are you, my lord. Bastard born and bastard bred.
I'm gonna get real tired of that word. I can tell already. Iron engineering, what have you got? Oh, this is gonna... Grumio's impolitical machine. Alright.
Greetings, sire, sprung from kings. I am Grumio, son of Gromio, an imp of good and honest standing. Your technician, shall I be, if it pleases you. Your engineer and architect.
Okay. So far you haven't called me a bastard. Points for you.
I hope you'll like my jetpack. It is my gift to you, to keep without recompense, for gladly shall I remain aboard this wondrous ship, to tinker and toy, hammer and hew.
Okay, well, I'm getting some positive feedback here. This is good.
It is special, this vessel, filled with wonders undiscovered. The wizard, he feels it too. The taste, the tingle of mystery. Oh, to unlock its secrets.
How come you know so much about all this technology stuff?
Well, my lord, when your good father and Maxos first started to conquer the world with their fancy machines, we imps were mesmerized. None of us cared if we were being drafted into a strange warlord's empire, for if those were the weapons he wielded, we were all ready to welcome him with open arms. By golly, were we ever.
So wait, you basically joined him because of his toys?
Steam-driven giants on land, on sea, even in air. Oh, the ecstasy! Such wonders, such ingenuity, and jeepers, what cannons! Ever since then, some 30 years hence, us imps have dedicated our existence to the advancement of these delightful machines.
Okay, well, if this is going to be no problems, then you're welcome to stay aboard and tinker.
Now, before those blessed days arrived, people regarded us as eccentric gnomes taken to experimenting with flame, gas, and liquid, like so many charlatan alchemists. But, those days are over. We are scientists now, famed and fortuitous.
So we got a fusion of technology and magic here. I kind of figured that already, but...
Truth be told, though, we've never quite given up our love for all things combustible. Rather on the contrary. Not that you mind, do you, my lord?
Let's see your research.
It'll be my pleasure, my lord.
New unit types and unit upgrades can be unlocked by spending research points. The more countries you occupy, the more research points you receive per turn. Some research items are grayed out. To unlock them, you... Oh, prerequisites, okay. Oh, little demo here. Oh, wow, yeah, so that guy was like a beam of healing then, pretty much. Nice. Transports. Warlock. Wow. Yeah, not a lot of damage, though. They do get the job done. Juggernaut Imp backup. Juggernauts can construct Imp fighters. Attack range. Mass cloaked. Troopers. More engines. Troopers can now take over enemy buildings. Armors to transport troopers. Warlock cloak. Okay, so this is what I've got. So basic. It's master technology. Okay. So we got a while to go then. Shipyards. Damage all enemies. Wow. Until healed or cured. So basically if you shoot them with that, they're pretty much done. Oh, there's a lot of stuff here I need to look through. But you know what? Let's start with healers. More attack range for the Grenadiers. I have to learn Zeppelin first. That's pretty handy. They can take him over. Wow. Let's build... Warlocks are anti-air and anti-ground. Well, let's go for transport because you have to do an amphibious landing. And let's save the other 5 for now. Undo research. Well, that's a nice option to have that in there. Royal Chamber, I guess. Tomb of Wonders. Well, dragon skills cost the same research. Okay. Purifying Flames. Blood Leech. 7% reduction and... Wow, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna learn Blood Leech right away. Aura of Annihilation. Permanently increases the damage done by friendly unit. Wow. Further in the story, further in the story. Eye of the Patriarch. Wow.
Never hesitate to seek my counsel, Dragon Knight. Tirelessly I study and question, in the knowledge that my discoveries will make you the mightiest dragon ever to have soared the skies.
I want to watch the books over here. They look a little precarious.
We too shall unite dragon's daring with wizard's wisdom. Nothing shall stand in your way.
Talking about War and Peace, Maxos. How did we get where we are now?
That is quite a tale, my friend, so bear with me.
Uh-oh, viewers. We might be in it for the long haul here.
Since the dawn of time, beautiful Rivellon has been a stage of bitter rivalry, strife, and war. Haughty humans, all too lofty lizards, dogged dwarves, erratic elves, irrational imps, dogmatic undead, and yes, wayward wizards even, couldn't forego the time it takes for the moon to wax and wane without turning to fresh violence.
Oof, couldn't find any alliteration for undead, could ya? That one's kinda tough to admit.
Peace. The word itself hardly had a meaning. It was an abstract. Until after long and dark ages, 3 men decided they had had enough. I was one of them. The other 2 were your father Sigurd, and an eccentric inventor known only, even by us, as the Architect.
I kinda wanna get Maxos' opinion on my dad, because Henry said that Sigurd kind of, well, sucked as a king in his later years, so...
We knew war would continue everlasting, unless one king would stand up, conquer all feuding factions, and unite the manifold battling races under the banner of a single world-spanning empire. Easier said than done was, I believe, our initial reaction.
Makes sense to me.
It was the Architect who provided us with the answer to the question how on earth we would go about enacting such an unparalleled enterprise. He said he had ways and means to provide your father, a battle-hardened warlord in his own right, with engines of war such as the world never saw.
Okay.
Technology. That was the solution. For if we could go to war with weapons so vastly superior as to be unstoppable, every opponent would have to yield before our onslaught. Where the Architect obtained his strange knowledge from, he never wished to reveal. But in truth, Sigurd and I cared little for his mysterious ways. For whatever the source, our plans worked like a charm. And in a matter of years, Rivellon was ours.
Creepy note. I think that thing with the snake is alive, because it's kind of... yeah, heartbeat. Creepy. Just saying.
Yes, we had done it. We had created our empire, and your father became its first and so far only ruler. For a few precious decades, peace had finally taken on a meaning. It was a bright flash, all too quickly extinguished along the tenebrous continuum of time.
Okay. This empire was so awesome, how come it got, well, taken down so easily?
Long have I asked myself that question. Yet the answer is as simple as it is obvious. Human nature. Love, jealousy, anger, grief. All of these emotions proved more fatal to the stability of peace than 100,000 war machines could. You see, Sigurd, the Architect, and I remained close friends after our quest had come to completion. But then, one fateful day, a woman of unequaled beauty arrived at court. After but a glance, there wasn't a man's heart in the room, not aching for even her mildest attention or a most fleeting caress. Your father, though married, courted her, as did the Architect. For myself, I'd admit I'd given up the very secrets of magic in return for her love, but I knew rivalry could only lead to misery. And so it did. For bitter rivals my 2 friends became, and when in the end Sigurd was the one to win her affections, the Architect left the palace with such hatred in his eyes as to strike me as diabolical.
Oh, this isn't going to end well at all.
A year their secret liaison lasted. 1 year your father and beautiful Aurora were happy together. Then suddenly she died. And it took me a long time to find out she did so at the hand of the Architect. Sigurd never knew. He was destroyed by grief. The mighty warlord withered, and with him, the soul of his empire flickered like a candle in the breeze, until his own children blew it out forever and hacked to pieces the land that was to have been his legacy.
Oh, that's not good. If the Architect has some kind of dragon-killing device, then it's probably going to kill me pretty well as well. Although, I'm going to call it here, very first video, no, second after the tutorial, I guess, my half-human nature will save me from his dragon killer thing. You wait and see, viewers.
I promise I will tell you in due time. For now, I must keep silent. Please, don't press me any further on the subject.
Alright, well, what about Aurora?
Though I said I noticed from the beginning her beauty was of such perfection as to be supernatural, I soon discovered she was indeed more than human, and that the enchanting guise we saw her in was but a mask. Behind it lurked the dragon. Yes, she was one of the ancients, interested in the ways of the infinitely lesser creatures we nevertheless call civilized. She was intrigued by Sigurd, his war machines, and his empire. It led her to his castle, to a brief spell of passion, and ultimately, her downfall.
On that note, my father seems to be held in little regard by some aboard the Raven. Why is that?
No one in Rivellon, save for you, Sigurd, the architect, and I, know of Aurora and how her death affected your father. As far as most are concerned, he was a great hero who all too soon fell prey to indulgence, sloth, and alcohol, which lost him the affection of his children, and in time started the war.
Okay. How is it people know... So, do people not know that Aurora was my mother, then?
They are wrong, but truth will be revealed one day. Rest assured that when we finish our conquest and I can spend some leisure time in peace, I will write his history, and yours too. Everyone shall know the tragedy that befell him, and how his son, by the woman he loved, rose to save an empire.
Pretty lofty story. So, what exactly is our true end goal again, Maxos?
In a few words, victory and destruction. First, we must vanquish all warring rivals for the throne. Then, we must undo the technology that enabled them to go to war in the first place. We will rekindle the Empire of Peace your father founded, and be rid of the apparatus that might threaten it once more.
Okay, but does that include this awesome ship we're on? Because I kind of want to keep this. What do you got in your research
Gladly
pile?
shall I do so.
Okay, we've seen this already, so we'll close that. I've been to the bar. Head back to the bridge.
What's on your mind, bastard?
I really need some way to get you killed. During the strategy phase, build units and buildings. Play cards and conquer countries to expand your empire and resources. Overthrow the enemy's capitals to win, and don't forget to defend your own. When you are finished playing your turn, okay. Alright. So where am I exactly? Academy. So where am I? Okay, I'm clearly missing something here. Can I pick these up? No. Okay, can I right click on them? No. I admit I'm a little confused now. Oh, this is... Oh, is this my kingdom? No. Carthan. Carthan. Neutral. Okay, so this is me. Cards. Unlock the rejuvenation for 1 round. Or restoration. Wow, okay. Nice. So just end my turn now? Build Wizard Tower. Build Parliament. Genocide. Dead Emperor's bastard son gets wizard's backing. Winning more territory does not help the Empire with its personality crisis, sneers Seer. More haste, less speed. Enemy invention propels troopers forward. Maxos magic makes many more immortal. Okay.
Great dragon, glorious warlord. Once more you return from the battlefield red with the blood of slain adversaries. And let me tell you, these victories of yours have not gone by unnoticed. In fact, to my great satisfaction, another pair of dauntless generals has joined our company.
Okay. Cool.
4 military masterminds are now on board. More than enough to start a campaign of conquest on a truly grand scale.
So between
No doubt you're as anxious to meet them as they are to meet you. So why don't you go to the throne room, where I've instructed them to await your arrival?
I have a throne room? That's awesome. So between you, me, Grumio, and my generals, my cabinet is now complete?
Heavens no. You have the military firmly on your side. But civil emissaries too are bound to join our cause in due time. Indeed, I expect you will be declared emperor before long.
Yeah, well, some people are probably going to stand against that.
Yes, you heard me correctly. Emperor. It is inevitable. People have heard of you. The dragon. Their one hope of deliverance from war, oppression, and death. Soon hope will turn into confidence. And when ambassadors of the civilized races flock to the Raven, your political career will commence.
Oh boy.
You yourself will of course represent all humans. But the dwarves, elves, lizards, imps, and undead will want their say as well. And more. Still, let us worry about politics later. Today, it is your generals that count.
Okay, then I'm head out. First things first, the bar has nothing. The engineering bay.
It's wondrous, my lord. Wondrous. The Raven, she speaks to me in my dreams. She tells me fantastic things, newfangled and new formed. I can make them all for you if you provide the right resources.
I'm not sure if I want to say this one here. So the Raven, the ship, sings to you.
Indeed she does, my lord. A soft voice sings inside my head, but only when I'm in the land of eyes shut and mind at rest. There, she guides me to glory. Shows me things not even wizards could dream of.
Yeah, I'm not going to even bring this up. Well, you know what? Screw it. Let's do it.
Yes, but don't remind me. My heart bleeds just thinking about it. Oh, but I must be like a chef, don't I? I must create delicate wonders, impeccable blends of perfection in the knowledge they must all turn into wretched clumps of waste destined for the sewer.
Thanks for that.
It's a thankless thing I do, but I must remind myself the fun lies in creation, not completion. Can't be helped, my lord.
See you later. Throne room.
My Lord Dragon, allow me to present your team of generals. Edmund you already know, but I now have the pleasure of introducing you to Her Highness Lady Catherine, Queen of Westbridge, and Scarlet, not noble of birth, but the more so of heart.
Okay.
We four have pledged we will stand by you in your conquest as a rightful heir to Revlon's throne. Bastard no longer, you shall be known as Commander, until the day comes that you shall be king.
Well, that was a quick turnaround, Henry.
All hail the dragon.
Thanks.
Hail! Hail!
Yes, well, hail.
Edmund is the best.
It's going to take some getting used to, you know, to call you Commander. Verily, I was rather opposed to the notion, but Maxos in his infinite wisdom insisted we up the level of common courtesy toward you. Commoner would have done. Commander, though, it shall be.
You like talking down to people, don't you?
As much as it is in the eagle's nature to look down upon the world in hunt of lesser creatures, it is my genius that makes me soar high above all others. Lesser creatures indeed.
Well, you do have a monocle.
At the lone top do I reside, but I would have it no other way. Those who do not understand, all but everyone, calls me a loner, thinking the word to be a pejorative. but it is on the contrary glorious to live in sweet isolation when all around you non-lizards, that is to say, inferiors, skitter and crawl like vermin.
Okay, that monocle will only go so far.
I am a solitudinarian, for my nature makes me so. And when I do have contact with those I loathe, inevitably I talk down to them as it is impossible to communicate on a level of equality when there is none to be had.
So for your birthday present, a thesaurus probably not necessary.
Yes, Commander?
This game read my mind.
Seemed hardly proper to call you by that particular pet name on what was somewhat of an official occasion. But don't worry, I may still slip up once or twice, even though my respect for you is in fact growing. You've got a knack for bloody brutal battle, and faint-heart never won fair victory.
I didn't even fight.
I would say it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Commander. But as it stands, I must approach you with a bit of reserve. True, to know we have a Dragon Knight for a leader is a great relief. For such a grand creature inspires bravado in the many hearts that will have to be won so that we may overthrow the spreading dark.
Okay.
But then again, you are the offspring, the male offspring to boot, of a sorry line prone to decadence and corruption. The very line, in fact, that is responsible for the downfall of the Empire in the first place. Forgive me then if I do wonder, will this commander pass muster? Earn his wings? Earn his crown?
Yeah, why put emphasis on male offspring?
Because they call us females the fairer sex. But in truth, we are also more cunning, resilient, refined, and downright intelligent. Give an empire a queen, I say, and it will be ruled. Give it a king, and it will become an afterthought. For like any man, he is content when both his belly and his bed are filled with a prize piece of tender flesh. No more.
Oh boy.
Men are simple creatures, Commander, and should therefore be in charge of simple things only.
I see you and I are going to get along quite well. And you must be Scarlet.
How's it hanging, Commander?
Oh.
I'm Scarlet, and you're a dragon, they tell me. Always wanted to ride one of those, though I bet you're a little harder to handle than a horse. All part of the fun, though, I reckon, so give me a shout when I can take you for a spin.
I don't even have a response, so wildcat thing.
Treat me mean, I'll scratch your eyes out. Treat me well, and I'll purr like a kitten. Your choice, Commander.
Okay. Well, that's wonderfully eclectic. Back to the bridge, I guess. Every country you conquer starts earning gold. Additionally, the longer you hold a country, the better your defenses will be. Each country is populated by a certain species. Your current popularity among the species is shown at the bottom of the screen. The higher the popularity, the more support you have. The more support, the larger your... Okay. Oh, okay, I do have something. What's in here? Hunter, transport, trooper, 1 of 3. Enhanced engines, okay. Ah, here we go. I failed. So I would like... How much money do I have? 24. I would like to build a grenadier. Transport. Hunter and a shaman. Can I do that? Nope. Okay, well that's good enough. Okay, so let's put my grenadier on. Okay, so I have no more movement points yet because I just bought them. Alright, I kind of flubbed up. So let's move... Can I move there? You know what, no, let's hold up here for now. Let's see what they do. And turn. Okay, Famed generals flock to the banner of the bastard. No rest for the wicked. Emperor disagrees. The untold story of our bastard emperor. Okay, well, viewers, I think it's a good place to call our first video here. We met everybody, and next time, we go to war. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you then on Let's Play Divinity, Dragon Commander. See you next time.